From America's farm to fork capital and some of the richest farmland in the world, it's time for What's in Season with Michael Marks, sponsored by Meals on Wheels, Sacramento County.
Welcome to What's in Season with Michael Marks. I'm so glad you're with us today. We're starting a new year. It's a great month. I love this month. We're going to have so much fun. It's Soup Month. And that's what we're going to talk about, soup, during this episode. We also have Culture and Crumb is with us today because there's a lot of NCAA football playoffs and there's NFL football playoffs. I want a charcuterie board just for guys or anybody who loves football. It's going to be a ton of fun. Plus Mandy Bottoms is with us today, dissecting soup. I can't wait to see that. Dr. Chelsea Azarkan. We're going to learn a lot more about Dr. Chelsea Azarkan and what a naturopathic doctor is. And of course, Chef Adam Peckle's in the house as well. Guess what? He's making soup. In fact, he's going to check my refrigerator and see what he can make soup out of. So let's get started. When you think of soup, this is what it starts with. Right there. It's called mirepoix. Oh my goodness. Mirepoix. Come on over here. The guy's name was actually Charles Pierre Gaston Francois. He was the Duke of Mirepoix in France. He was an 18th century diplomat, and it was actually named after him because he had his chefs make soup, and this is what they always started with. Now, originally it was 2 to 1 to 1. 2 parts onion, 1 part carrot, and 1 part celery. Today, most people just make it even, but that's what it all starts with. So it really all starts with celery because, as chef might say, that's an aromatic in it. It brings a lot of flavor and a lot of aroma. So I need to teach you how to pick out the best celery for your soup or stews. So the first thing I want you to look for is make sure it is light in color, light green in color. Light green celery is sweet celery. The darker it is, the more chlorophyll is in it. The more chlorophyll is in it, the more bitter it is, right? So I'm always looking for light green celery. The next thing, when you pick it up, oh my goodness, it's got to be really heavy for its size. The heavier it is for its size, the more juice is in these stalks. Juice is where all the flavor is going to be, right? So you want it really heavy for its size. And then finally, I want you to give it a gentle, quick little squeeze. Yeah, did you hear it squeak? Yeah, a squeaking celery is a fresh celery. If it's fresh, it's going to be even better. So it starts with celery. Then you need some onions, right? You can do yellow onions. You can do white onions. Most chefs will use a yellow onion. And how to keep from crying when you cut the onions? Just cut fast, okay? Just cut fast. And if you want to try something different, try some leeks in there. I have a saying, whatever onions do, leeks do better. Yeah, leeks are so good. You got to be careful with them though because they grow in very sandy soil, so you got to really be careful and clean them really well. So that's our onions, we got our celery. Now let's go to our carrots. This is very important when you're picking out your carrots. When you look at your carrots, I want you to look at the end of the carrot. It needs to have almost a rounded look to it. If it's now even these carrots, almost a rounded look to it. When they get really pointed, there's a lot more bitter flavors because that's a stressed out carrot. Because what they're doing, they're going as far down as they can looking for water, right? They're stressed and they're looking for water. So they get this really pointed look. But when you have this nice little rounded look to them, oh my goodness, that's going to be a much sweeter carrot. Now, why do carrots always taste sweeter after they've been cooked? Because there's 2 types of sugar in carrots. And when you cook the carrots, it breaks down the outer cell structure of each of these sugars, and those sugars combine. So you have 2 different kinds of sugar making one big sugar. That's why cooked carrots always taste sweeter. How about onions? They always taste sweeter, right? That's because there's acid and sugar. And when you cook an onion, the acid goes down. Yeah, and guess what? It tastes sweeter. Now, I have a couple secrets for you here. I want you to add into your mirepoix, I want you to add a poblano chili pepper or a pasilla chili pepper, however you want to call it. Add this into your mirepoix. Oh my goodness, it will change your world. If you're making a chowder, here's what I want you to do. Whether it's a corn chowder, a potato chowder, a clam chowder, 2 Scotch bonnets, 2 of these go into there. And if you're tasting your soup and said, it's missing something, I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna put salt in there. No, don't put salt in there. Go grab a lime, okay, and squeeze a lime in there. The lime does the same thing to your taste buds as the salt does. It opens it up, makes it taste good. Hey, don't go away. Coming up, Culture and Crumb is in the house for charcuterie boards. Don't go away. Well, it's NFL playoff season. Oh my goodness. And so I brought in Culture and Crumb because I wanted a manly charcuterie board. And guess who is here? Jennifer Patton. Jeremy and Jennifer Patton own Culture and Crumb. Thank you so much for being with us today, Jennifer.
For having us.
I love what you came up with here.
Yes.
Grilled meats and grilled cheeses.
Yes, so we're going to do a fun play on the word charcuterie, which is already hard to pronounce anyway, and we're going to put the char in charcuterie.
Love it.
We're, instead of cold boards, cold meats, cheeses, we're just going to grill everything, because that's what's the best thing to do, right? We have melty cheese, grilled sausage, all the yummy things.
And these are some things that you can actually grill the night before. You don't have to do it the day right? You can do it night before.
Yes, this is actually great where you can grill some of these the night ahead. You can put them on the skewers, have them ready to go.
So tell us what some of the ingredients are here.
Okay, so we have smoked sausage, smoked grilled sausage.
That one's mine.
Yes, it's so good. This is paneer, and it's a grilling cheese, and it doesn't melt, so it doesn't ooze out, which is so if you put it on the grill, it's not going to seep through the grill. And then we have prosciutto, which has been fried. We also have grilled roasted peppers, grilled brie bites, so they're little individual bries, and then we have a spicy pepper jack. So we also have a smoked Gouda. So all the smoky things.
So you have this little buffet going on here, and we can make our own skewers. We can go through.
That's right, and I have some skewers here. So we already have some made here. So I'm going to do the paneer one first. So this is really easy. If you just grill it up, you first of all, you cut it into little things, and then you brush it with olive oil, and then you grill it for a minute on each side, and you can get those really pretty little grill marks. And then we made an amazing chimichurri sauce.
You make that yourself?
We do.
You and Jeremy do that?
We do that.
Oh my goodness.
Even our girls know how to make it. It's a favorite in our home. It is cilantro, oregano, parsley. You can just throw a bunch of stuff in there, like herb-wise. It's red wine vinegar, garlic, and salt. And it goes really great.
I wish we had smell-o-vision, because the aroma over here from that chimichurri is so good.
And we put it on everything. We really do. So you can dip the paneer in the chimichurri sauce. It's really great. And then one of our other skewers, we have the smoked Gouda. And I mean, when you're doing a playoff thing, you want all the smoky flavors. So this is really going to tie in very well together.
And I'm glad you have some produce in here.
Yes.
Nice little sweet.
Of course we have to have some produce. With all the cheese and meat, you got to balance it out, right?
You could have added some grilled pineapple in here too, right? That'd be good.
Absolutely. Huh? Honestly, there's so many things you can grill in here and add, and you can really be fun and creative with it.
I like how you cooked the prosciutto, not super crispy, but enough where it bends a little bit and you can put it on the skewer.
Yep.
Take a look at that.
There we go. And then if you have a board you want to put together, you can just put some these are kind of sweet and salty nuts, and you can put those on the board, and then you can also pair it with some fruit. We have some blackberries here. But one of the great things about this is, like, when you have a playoff party or you're just with your family watching football, instead of one big dish, you can mix and match the different skewers. You can have a lot of different options. So it's really great.
Love it. Tell us a little bit about Culture and Crumb.
So Culture and Crumb is our family business that we started 3 years ago, and we love cheese, we love food, but most of all we love bringing people together and creating amazing cheese boards so that you can enjoy it with your family and friends, and we love it.
Thank you for coming here today and showing us a wonderful thing for NFL playoffs. I love it. Coming up, Mandy Bottoms is in the house. We are dissecting soup. Well, thanks for staying with us. There's a cool book, Who Grew My Soup? It's a story about little Phineas, and Phineas came in for lunch, and there's a bowl of soup in front of Phineas, and Phineas did not want to eat it. So Phineas says, "I'll eat this soup, Mom. Yes, I'll happily eat it as soon as you're able to tell me who grew my soup. Like you always tell me, don't put anything in your mouth unless you know where it's been." Well, all of these ingredients of soup, somebody had to grow them. Mandy Bottoms is with us from Egg in the Classroom. This is very fun. What do we got going here?
Well, I love this topic because our family actually grows tomatoes that go in Campbell's soup. So it's so fun to come on the show and talk about this product. So we are doing a soup dissection, which is great for those cold, wintry months. And basically, you don't need much. All you need is a can of vegetable soup. So
that's it.
Here, I brought a couple of examples here. I brought some vegetable soups, and we're going to be dissecting this hearty vegetable soup today. So all you need is a strainer, and I've already pre-strained it. So I just dumped it over, a bowl. I caught all the liquid there, and it's left me with some nice vegetables in the can.
And some farmer grew all of those.
Yeah,
several farmers
there's
grew them.
There's a lot in here, and so I've actually created this handout that people can download online, and we're going to put it out here. And depending on the age of your child, they can do different things with this activity. So we'll put a little bit out, and we're going to see what we can find here. So do you see any of the vegetables that are on the list here?
Well, I see corn is in here, which is not really a vegetable. It's a grain.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. I do see some wonderful tomatoes. I wonder if that's your tomato.
I often wonder that myself.
Okay. Let's see. I see some peppers in here.
There are peppers in there.
There are peppers in there. And what is that? Is that meat?
Potato.
Oh, that's a potato.
That's a potato.
Where's my carrots? I see a few little carrots in there.
Carrots are pretty small.
Okay.
And then I think I saw
Some
an
celery.
onion around here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. So depending on the age of your child at home, they can just sort it into groups. They can see what's inside of it. But the older they get, the more advanced this can go, which is one of the ways I love this activity. So they could count the number of corn kernels, and they can write down the number of each one. Your oldest kids can figure out how many total pieces of vegetable are in there, and then come up with their ratio. So they could say, it's 5% corn or 10% corn.
Interesting.
And it would be fun to do. You know how they list the ingredients on the back, and it's like the most quantity to the least quantity? They can see if their findings match the findings on the back of the soup can.
That would be cool. Then you can call the soup companies, hey, you're off a little bit on that corn.
I've got a complaint here. I bet it'll be spot on.
So you can do ratios with this, you can do percentages.
You can do all of that. Make a pie chart.
And they can get this from Ag in the Classroom?
Yeah, they can. So this is what we call our Ag Bites. They're short little activities that you can do at home or in the classroom, and those are available at learnaboutag.org. And we have a search bar at the top, and you just put in Ag Bites, and it will pop right up for you.
Ag Bites, I love it. Mandy, how did you get into education?
Yeah, so I wanted to be a teacher. I've always loved learning, and so I thought I would become an agriculture teacher, which is why my focus here. And then I ended up teaching 3rd and 4th grade for 4 years. And then I came on to Ag in the Classroom and developed curriculum. So that's what I do now. So instead of in the classroom, I'm actually training teachers and equipping them to take agriculture into their classrooms.
Very cool. And that's why you're here on this show. So you can teach everybody who's watching how to help their kids learn about ag here in California. And just remind your kids, every soup that you eat, somebody grew those vegetables.
Right.
And even the meat, somebody raised the meat.
That's right. Yeah, you could do the same activity with, chicken noodle soup, anything, but vegetable, you get the most variety.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us, Mandy. Hey, coming up, the doctor's in the house. We're going to learn more about naturopathic doctors and more about Chelsea Azarkan. Well, welcome back to What's in Season. We're so glad you're with us today. And Dr. Chelsea is making a house call. Dr. Chelsea, we're doing something a little different here today. I wanted people to get to know you. It's the start of a new year, and I just want our viewers to know who you are and why you became a doctor, and not just a doctor, but a naturopathic doctor.
Yeah, so I got into this integrated medical field because I was pretty much born with chronic health issues. Started as kind of, non-specific, just didn't feel well. And by the time I was in elementary school, it had progressed enough that my mom took me to an alternative practitioner who pulled me off of sugar and dairy and grains. And this was back in the 90s and nobody ate that way.
Nobody did that.
Yeah, so I did that for a couple years, felt better, and kind of reverted to the standard American diet after that. And within a couple years, I had developed a kidney disease where your immune system attacks your kidneys. Nobody knew the autoimmune condition that was driving it. That actually has a life expectancy of about 15 years. So I've outlived that, and I have no kidney problems in sight, doing well with that. And then a few years later, I developed a condition where your brain shuts down hormone production top down in the entire body. So was dealing with quite a lot and began working with two of the most prestigious hospital systems in the country, so one of the best endocrinologists, and they really didn't know what to do with me. They just kind of handed me my diagnoses and sent me on my way. And so I decided I needed to go into integrative medicine to help figure out people with chronic complex conditions like myself.
So you could be helpful to others, like they
That's
weren't
right.
helpful to you.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
So I ended up going to Cornell University, and while I was there,
By the way, how cold was it up there?
It was pretty cold.
Okay.
Yeah. And I worked with a lab. We partnered with the NIH to study different cultures, medical traditions. My team went to the Dominican Republic and did that. And we were looking for plants that had biological activity that could help treat diseases that disparately impact minorities. So it was a lot of fun.
Oh, wow.
But I was also living in black mold, and this was really before mold making people sick was on the conversation docket in the wellness space. So I was really sick. And I went to medical school. Health issues kind of accelerated. I had a really severe allergic reaction to the cadavers we were dissecting. So I actually almost had to drop out of medical school. We had such a difficult time getting it under control. And then I also had a stroke protocol called. Didn't end up having a stroke, but nobody knew why. Half my body went numb. So a lot of these things going on. And my late rheumatologist and mentor, he was a Stanford fellow. At this time, he started suspecting chronic infections. And so he put me on an antibiotic protocol. It was 5 antibiotics. I took it for a year and a half, and the side effects were terrible. I mean, I would dry heave on the way into class. I got regular fevers. I would be on the floor for hours, unable to move because of pain. Around this time, I went into our student clinic, and one of my colleagues said, let's check you for Lyme disease. And I was like, whatever, do what you want to do.
Oh my.
But I was positive.
Yeah.
And so I got diagnosed with Lyme disease, and my rheumatologist also kind of started getting clued into not only the mold I'd been exposed to, but some mercury and some lead and some other toxins. And through that process, I ended up becoming one of the early providers in the United States to start doing this cutting-edge therapy for Lyme disease. That's how I put my Lyme disease into remission. It can shut down Lyme infections in as little as 1 infusion. So I have people now who come from all over the country to do that therapy. And I love working with Lyme, but I work with lots of different types of conditions, and really my focus is anybody who has chronic or complex conditions or a condition that just doesn't have an answer. I really love combining my experience, the empathy I have from that, but also the drive I have to find answers with my training and my higher education to help people get answers and help them get well.
Wow. What's the difference between a doctor and a naturopathic doctor?
Yeah, good question. So besides being more difficult to say, naturopathic doctors are licensed as primary care doctors in California. So they've been to undergrad and four-year medical school, taken boards. So the big difference is that naturopathic doctors, in addition to treating disease, are also focused on wellness care. So if you don't feel well, but your labs are normal, or maybe you've been given a condition, but the only thing for that condition is drugs, we're going to help you take a second look at your labs, or maybe look at a different kind of labs. We want to understand what is the root cause driving those symptoms, and then we do utilize pharmacologics, but we go beyond that to work with diet and lifestyle and maybe some less invasive but science-backed natural products to get you well and get you optimized in your health.
Wow. Well, Dr. Chelsea, we are so glad that you are part of this show. How can people learn more about you?
Yeah, so I have a local practice. It's called Restore Naturopathic Medicine. So you can Google that and find the practice, or you can visit my website, chelseaazarcon.com.
All right. Thank you so much for being with us. Hey, coming right up, the chef is in the house too, and he's cooking up some soup. Don't go away. Well, welcome back. We started the show with this, the beginning of soup. So Chef Adam Peckel is with us today. He went through my pantry, he went through my refrigerator, and there's 101 soups in everybody's refrigerator, right?
I would say so, and that's just scratching the surface.
Yeah, and that's what you did. You just grabbed some things from the pantry and the refrigerator. What do we got here?
That's right. Well, that's what us chefs do when we make a soup for a restaurant or whatever. We kind of see what we've got kicking around, and of course you've got those base aromatics, that mirepoix, which is that foundation. And again, you say aromatics. And then we kind of go beyond that a little bit with some other specialty ones. You'd mentioned peppers, jalapenos, garlic, maybe ginger,
I love ginger,
herbs.
yes.
And that's where, this is how simple this is. So that's kind of that first part. We like is the aromatics.
Okay.
And you kind of pick and choose what you want
Now
there.
you have to have the meat of the soup.
That's right.
So
and so, whether it's maybe butternut squash or a sweet potato, these apples, they're a fun little kind of aromatic kind of in between. Celery root, the same thing. It's an aromatic. It could be the main event. Mushrooms, broccoli, all this stuff. So that's kind of that meat. And then of course you need a liquid. Of course you can go nice chicken broth. I always have a nice tasty chicken broth on hand. Cream, of course, dairy. Maybe you're dairy free. Coconut milk makes a great one. Again, if you're maybe getting some flavors like ginger. So you kind of start to find your theme pairing these three things up. You start with your aromatics, add some of the bulky stuff, add some liquid, just cover it, and cook it for 30 minutes. It's that simple.
That's it.
You want to cut things all kind of similarly, have that nice little cut so everything kind of cooks a little bit evenly. I made a little broccoli soup today. That's just what I was feeling. Okay. And it's got some potatoes in there. And highly recommend the immersion blender. It's so much easier than your standard blender. And we just get in there, we buzz it up.
Buzz it up, official culinary term, ladies and gentlemen. Buzz it up.
And now we all know about that kind of the broccoli cheddar soup, so we'll finish with a little bit of that in there right at the end. And we'll get some of that.
So do you like chunky soup or real creamy soup?
Well, so that's the beauty of it. What do you like? And that's what you can keep going and going. Of course, we're not going to be for the benefit of television, but I think a lot of people like this and the broccoli cheddar. They do kind of like it a little bit chunky.
Yes.
A butternut squash, of course, we want it real nice and smooth, but we put some of that in there.
Fill that bowl up.
And then of course, it's always nice to have a couple fun little garnishes. I just got a little bit of sour cream, of course, classic. And maybe some chives,
nice.
And something crunchy on top, and that's a meal.
Oh my, that looks good.
And just that easy.
Chef, how in the world, I want people to get to know you a little bit. How did you become a chef? Was like your mother a horrible cook and you had to fend for yourself or what? I mean.
Funny you should say that, quite the contrary. Okay. For moms, when mom got married, as a wedding gift, she got Julia Child's Art of French Cooking. Yes. So I have a fond memory of coming home from school and going to the freezer and pulling out a frozen chocolate crepe. This was not every day, but it happened one time. Kids are eating Pop-Tarts, and I've got a frozen chocolate crepe watching cartoons. We'd have Eggs Benedict for Easter all the time, and these great meals. Of course, it wasn't every day, but that's where it started. And then, and I've always loved food. It's my addiction. I'm not going to lie.
Where'd you get your training?
I went to the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York, which, again, as a born and raised Sacramentan, I took the 3-day train ride to New York.
That had to be a culture shock for you.
It was. It honestly, it changed my life. People don't believe it, but I used to be pretty shy. But leaving everything behind, and I know, believe it or not. But going across the country and meeting people from around the country. At CIA, it was just such a great melting pot.
When you're at CIA, what's the first lesson they teach you? Lesson number 1, what is it?
Sanitation.
Okay.
There's a lot of little things
Keep
that
everything clean.
You do a lot of classroom work in the beginning, and
you've worked at some great restaurants in Northern California. Name a few.
Probably the best restaurant, the one with 2 Michelin stars, was a restaurant called Acquarello in San Francisco. Wonderful place, great Italian food. But I've opened tons of restaurants here in Sacramento. The old Esquire Grill, if you remember.
Yes, I remember Esquire
I opened
Grill.
that place, and Riverside Clubhouse. I mean, I'm kind of dating myself a little bit.
Yes, you are.
River City Brewing Company was where I got my start in the downtown plaza, where I learned how to throw pizza and found that passion there. And just got to work with some really great people in Sacramento. Sacramento's been a great food community, bringing lots of good people up here.
And now you're working on your own now? Or?
I do. Right now, I'm a private chef. I've cooked for some of our Sacramento Kings, other private clients, small parties, private dining. Not such big catering. I do that, but I really like doing like private dining.
How can we learn more about you?
I mostly work on social media these days.
Okay.
Chef Peckle on Instagram, and that's the best way to find me.
So when he's making his chicken pot pies, you're going to want to order his chicken pot pie.
Coming soon.
Yeah, and they'll be delivering it right to your house. Oh my goodness, it's so good. It's so good to learn more about you. Thank you, Chef, for being with us today.
Happy to be on the
Thank you for the soup. I'm going to have some.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being with us today, and we will see you next time.